Hello everyone. Good to be here today, and thank you, Dr. Leonard, for what I'm sure was a very wonderful introduction as always. I want to talk to you today about something that I'm sure you'll all find very valuable and very personal. I'll be talking about different aspects of things in life, and all of us have our own individual way that we relate to all of this. So first off, I want to start by getting you to remember some personal things. If you could close your eyes, just be for a minute or two, and go back to your earliest childhood memories. See what you can recall from the time when you were as early as possible. It could be something happy, it could be unhappy, just something through whatever reason has really stuck in your memory. And then try and remember another one and perhaps a third. So see if you can come up with 2 or 3 things, and then we'll move on from there. Right now, Anita, I'd like it if you could hit the pause button. Give everybody a couple of minutes to go through this exercise and then start back up again. So, pause. Okay, welcome back from your earliest childhood memories. So, people could go around the room and maybe you could just say to yourself or out loud, or perhaps with Dr. Leonard or Anita there, how old you were at the earliest memory. I'm not looking for any stories today, but how old were you? Were you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? What age were you, more or less? See if you can figure it out. Well, as you go through that, know that there's oftentimes people who don't remember anything until they're about 8 or 9 years old. Some people remember back to 2 years old. It's very variable how early back people remember. In any case, my point about all this is that you have all of those memories. There's a lot of time. Up until the time you were 10 or so, or 8, when the memory really started to click in, when your life was going on, and you were starting to form relationships, you were starting to form patterns in your life, character type, emotions, human development, emotional development, all that is going on. All that is going on for all those years, and so much of it is inaccessible. Well, I'm not saying that's a problem. What I'm saying is it's a very interesting thing to notice and observe, because so much that we learned, so much of the way that we grew up and that we developed and that we act on today, we don't even remember. Not only that, but at the time when we were reacting to things that were going on around us, we had a very, very limited point of view. What is the limit? What's the point of view of a 2-year-old relative to the world, of a 3-year-old, of a 4-year-old, of a 6-year-old? It's very, very limited. They don't have the development. They don't have the orientation. They don't have the life experience, and on and on. And so, in the meantime, person is building up reactions, responses, emotional feelings, and all of those over time get patterned in. And so for all of us, what I would propose to you here today is that we're very much operating, even today, much of what we do, if not most of what we do, is based on patterns that were developed the time before we had much of a real full-scale human development. And in fact, a lot of the development and patterning that occurs for all of us occurred in the first couple of years of life, before the mind was even very awake and very functional. First 5 or 6 years of life are very much devoted to the physical, but in the meantime we're still operating and adapting and adjusting and so on to life. So, what does this mean? Well, how many times during the day or week, do you struggle with discipline, or struggle with emotions, or not able to access emotions, not able to really understand why you're sorrowful or angry, or not even be able to let yourself be angry, or to be able to discipline yourself, to be able to take full deep breaths, to practice exercise, self-discipline, eat a healthy diet, all of those things. Well, as Dr. Leonard was telling you about, I'm sure, quite a bit before I did this little presentation here, our history, our patterning, what we do at an Oedipal level in relationship to our mother, and therefore women, and to our father, and therefore men, and to all others the way that we have adapted, that has a profound effect on our health and well-being, a profound effect, because it informs and it relates to all of our lives. You think about it, just not being able to eat a right diet, being able to choose a right diet, having the presence of mind, being able to discipline yourself. All of these things very much come out of a lifetime of limited experience, and also, at least I know in America, here in America, hopefully it's not so true in Iceland, but when we were growing up, how much did we actually learn and grow and understand relative to our emotions, relative to our human development? Commonly in the 20th century West, most of the education is focused on information and history. I can remember to this day, and I had a very good, albeit conventional private university education. It was about English and mathematics and history and science and so on. But where was my getting in touch with and understanding my human development? Where was being able to develop a relationship with others? Where was having a sensitivity to the conductivity in the body, the life energy in the body, and what is all of that about? In my case, I got very, very little, close to not anything about it. So, I'm not suggesting any of this is a problem. In fact, my very point is that since we all, speaking for myself and most of the people that I know, we're so limited in our background and growing up in that, we're now at a point in our lives where education, depth, examination, greater self-inspection, greater looking in, changing in patterns, is something that we can and should do from a non-problematic point of view. It's like starting where it is that we are now. And that's very much the way that I work with people. It's educationally based, life positive, body positive, altogether positive, non-critical, non-judgmental, so that you can feel what it is, the pattern that's running in your life. What's the secret script, the underneath, the subconscious and unconscious way that you're operating that's really running and driving in your life. And unless and until you become sensitive and aware and have self-awareness relative to all these patterns and characteristics, and whether you're mentally oriented, obsessed with mental or physical or emotional aspects of life, or some combination of those, until you start to become more sensitive to your own event, then the physical body suffers. And that's why Dr. Leonard has invited me to do this presentation here. Because if you are not conducting yourself, if you're not working the body and life all together, running your energy in a good way, disciplining yourself, having a healthy diet, and so on and so forth, if the obstructions and the limits in your character type and your pattern are too strong, it's going to have an effect on your health. And likewise, if you have people that are dominantly very angry types, there's a lot of evidence to show that those are the people that tend towards having cancer at some point in their life. People that are happy, doesn't seem to be the case. Energy in the body is free when a person is happy. Anger is demonstrating a kind of locked up energy. So, I'll tell you a quick little story. Years ago, about 15 years ago, in fact, I was in the UK, United Kingdom. I was doing a presentation, about to do a seminar with my wife on human relationship, and we were in a flat in London. We were about 20 minutes before we were supposed to start this presentation. And I started to get angry at her because she was starting to tell me to do something in a way that I wasn't receiving very well. And this is she was hitting on part of my unconscious patterning. And I had some level of awareness of it, but I hadn't really penetrated it altogether. So it started to very quickly escalate, and 10 minutes before this seminar on human relationship and intimacy, marital relationships and so on is about to start, she's on one side of the room and I'm on the other, and we're just like, the noise level is raised and we're angry at each other and so on. And I realized, oh, I'm in a bit of a pressured situation here. And I also realized in that moment, and it was a great changing point for me in my life, and it's something I would tell all of you today, is true for everybody else too, is that I realized I can decide to do something different. There's the pattern, there's what I'm doing, and I'm on automatic. It literally felt like I was just running a script, doing something in like a form of automaticity. And I just dropped it. And I went over to her and started approaching her. At first she pulled back more because she thought I was, furthering the attack. But I just dropped it. I said, no, it's okay. We gave each other a hug, and it was just washed in a few minutes. And we went on to do the seminar. And she, in fact, told this story in the seminar. It's quite humorous, since the seminar was about human intimacy. So that's a very significant level of it, where you can observe patterns and you can actually decide to have the strength to do something differently. Now, I tell that story. That just didn't happen to me overnight. That was a process of years actually to get to that point, of years of some level of examination, but then a real intensive view of it, a real study, and some real help with it. So I offer courses. I offer a 5-week course on this Oedipal consideration. Go back through your history, help you understand what the patterning is. But I'm not looking for the magic blue pearl or something that happened to you a long, long time ago. It's not that. The history is, yes, it's useful. But what's fundamentally true is whatever your patterns and characteristics are, whatever it is that's got you locked up and limited in life and holding back happy, free energy and attention, you're doing it right now. We're doing it. We're all doing it all the time. So we can use the past as a history. See how it is that we got there. But the fact that you don't remember something before 9 years of age, if that's true of anybody here today, and it could well be, it doesn't mean that you can't go through the process. So I do this I have a lot of clients that I've never met before. I do this via Skype, video conferencing. I'm happy to offer a 30-minute complimentary session to anybody there, so you can get to know me. We can talk a little bit. If you have a particular issue, I certainly relate to people about that, along with doing the courses. I recommend a full course to come out with a full breadth of a real grasp, a real full big picture overall. What is the pattern? What's the character type? What's the history? What's going on? What is it that you need to move beyond in life? And a very specific way that I work with people, and Dr. Leonard I know can tell you this, is I very much help people what to do differently. Because you can observe the pattern, but then what's critical to the process is to do something different. If you change what it is that you do, the emotions and the emotional patterning will change over time. Absolutely. If you just keep doing the same thing, then why would you expect anything different to happen? It's not just a process of mind. It has to come down into the body. So, thanks very much for listening. I hope you found something valuable about this, even just today, something to think about, something to ponder, to chew on, and I look forward to hearing from any of you. Thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of the seminar with Dr. Leonard. He's a real gift in what it is that he offers, and he offers a lot of very, very valuable insight and knowledge and depth of perception and understanding in his field that's, I'm sure, going to be of great value for all of you. Okay, thank you.